Hey y'all, I'm currently in the parking garage of the San Antonio Central Library where LaunchSA is currently located. And today they are having an event which is the Entrepreneurship Legal Clinic, which is basically an event where there's lawyers here and they are offering pro bono or free consultation for any questions that people might have concerning opening a small business, starting a small business, or if they already are involved in their own small business. So it's kind of questions that I would have basically are concerning trademarks or business names, business identities, especially trademarks, because there's two things that I would really like to get trademarked. But I do know that it's probably best practice to have some sort of legal consultation so that way I'm aware of some things that could potentially happen if I trademark or attempt to trademark something or trademark something that somebody else might already have uh, control over or own, more than likely. So I kind of want to be careful before I do things like that because I don't know business law, I don't know anything really. So things like this are pretty beneficial for someone like me because not everybody has money for their own personal lawyer. So this is going to be very helpful. And it's also going to kind of introduce me to some attorneys that may possibly be helping me in the future, because I do know that I will need an attorney, once I start getting things a little bit more ready and created. So I'm going to definitely need some of that legal advice. So it's also kind of a networking type of situation for me today. So things like this, especially going into them alone, I are a little nerve-wracking for me. So, but I'm here, and that's the first step, right? So I'll let you guys know how it goes. And all right, let's go. So I just got back from the Entrepreneurship Legal Clinic that LaunchSA was holding inside of the Central Library today. And as I stated previously in my video, it's basically a clinic that offers free legal counsel for anybody that's looking to open a small business or maybe already has their small business and they need some legal counsel free of charge. So it's a really cool event, very informative. So some of the things that the main thing that I had questions on was basically trademarks. So there's a couple of names that I would really like to get trademarked. Trademarked names, domain names, Dottie is being crazy right now. Names, domain names, and logos. Just basically getting some information or advice on moving forth with those and trying to make informed decisions, so that way I don't move forth and do something and then later on down the road I get sued because I didn't know something. So I met with an attorney today and he didn't per se answer some of my questions for trademarks, mainly because we didn't get that far. So a lot of the things that he did answer initially was what I need to look at before I even start looking at trademarks. So there's a couple of roadblocks that have come up with this. So he kind of pointed me in the direction of looking at LLCs, and which I already had information on, but having me look into like explaining a little bit better on what I'll have to be aware of before I even apply for a trademark. So that is very helpful. So the roadblock that I am kind of speaking about right now is I have a business name that I want to use, and I've already registered it here in Bexar County as a DBA. So we did a search in Texas though, because Texas is going to be when you're going to register for your LLC or trademark it, it's got to be within the state of Texas. So you have to kind of look at other names that are similar. And there's one other business name that's similar to mine, or the one that I want to use. So there's a good chance that if I apply for that trademark, it's going to be denied. So he gave me some information on an email address that I can email the state. He suggested that I come up with other variations of the name to see if, basically send them all those variations and ask them if they could do a preliminary, check to see if they would approve or deny something like that at that time. So there's that. The other roadblock that is also occurring is sometimes I can be a little overzealous. Because I had registered the name as a DBA and being kind of unaware that it would make a difference if there was similar, even if it was similar with trademarks. I went to a graphic designer or an advertising agency here in San Antonio, Texas, which I'll go into who I went to in later videos. But they will be basically doing my website, doing my mobile app that I have a lot of good ideas for, and my logo. So they've already kind of started on the logo. So I'm going to have to tell them to kind of halt that project until I can figure out if that name is actually going to be accepted or not. So there's that. So that's, but you know, these things happen. So that's kind of why going to these kinds of events are really, really helpful, because I know now information I didn't know before, and it's going to help me make better decisions concerning the business name moving forth. So it's good that I can tell them to halt before it's finished, and it's good that I didn't just move forth and apply to get that trademark, spend all this money, and then it get denied. Cool. So on top of that, I also was able to meet Margot Slauson. She is with the Women's Business Center. So I will need funding down the road, and today the attorney that I spoke to kind of gave me a bit of a reality check, which we all need sometimes. You know, we need those reality checks. But basically, I don't have a lot of collateral to me. So basically, you know, I don't have a house, I don't have land, I don't have thousands of dollars in the bank. I'm poor, basically. But I have ideas or plans on getting that funding. That'll be another video down the road. But it was a bit of a reality check that I need to really start paying attention to my financials and seeing if I can start saving kind of a little bit larger amount of money than I had been previously. But anyways, I was introduced to Margot, who would be a really good resource for me when I am ready to start to ask for funding from either the banks or even Lift Fund, who they also offer funding for small businesses. So that was really good contact, have information. So that was pretty awesome. All around, it was a really, really good information session, and so I learned a lot, and now I have to basically process all the information that I learned. He gave me some links to go to so I can look up more information. My brain's a little overloaded right now, but I have a couple of hours for me to do that before I go to bed. On top of that, let's see, where else am I? Business plan. So the business plan itself, I've kind of fallen a little behind on that, and the past couple of weeks I am a little bit behind on what I should be doing. So part of the business plan is figuring out like the demographics and who my customer is, who's my customer, who am I marketing to. So in order for me to figure that out, or pinpoint a little bit better, I've created some surveys. And I was a little behind on creating some additional surveys, but now I have another. I had one out last month. I have one out that I just released yesterday or the day before yesterday. And then I have another one created that I'll probably release the week or two. So I'm a couple weeks behind on those, but those are going to help me kind of formulate a better explanation on what I'm offering, who my customer is going to be, demographic-wise, product-wise, things like that. And on top of that, to be quite honest about it, the business plan kind of scares me. So there will be times where I'm going to have these kinds of confessions, I guess, where it's like, hey, I've been slacking for like 2 weeks. This is good. This is why I go to these events, and this is why I do these videos, is basically to hold myself accountable to do this. And it's not because I don't want to do it. It's more of the fact that it's scary, and it's a huge risk, and it's a lot of work. And so that could be really terrifying to somebody, and that can be kind of scary to me. So there are going to be moments where it's like, I didn't do anything because I'm procrastinating, because I'm kind of avoiding it. But like I said, going to these events and doing these videos, it kind of like kicks me in the butt to actually do what I'm supposed to be doing, because this is what I want to do. And it's just way outside of my comfort zone. And it's taking a little bit of getting used to, like going to these events by myself, talking to people I've never met. I'm okay at it, but it's not easy for me to do, and I know it's not easy for a lot of people. But it it's building. It's not just helping me business wise; it's helping me as a person. So I guess that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions for me, any comments or suggestions, or if you have any advice that you know, oh hey, talk to this person, or hey, go to this company or organization is what I mean to say, for any help, or if you have any suggestions on mentors I can go to. I know you don't really know what my business plan is yet, but if you have anybody that maybe has a small business themselves and has kind of gone through this as well, I mean, let me know. So you can either leave a comment on my YouTube, on this video on YouTube, or you can hit me up on Facebook, on Twitter, or on Instagram. It's all of them at Run All the Hills. Or you can contact me through my website, runallthehills.com, where this video blog, Starting Small, is also located. So if you have anything to say, or maybe, you know, I mean, keep it positive. I mean, if you have like some critiques, I can take it. I can take a critique, but as long as it's constructive. So, anyways, I just want to thank you for sitting here for about 10 minutes listening to me kind of ramble. But I think that's it. That's all I got. So I guess I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.